All right, choose a color theme and let it flow. So if you have chosen a color theme, definitely your cake should go along with that theme, in line with the decor as well. And that is in the flowers or the embellishments that are coming on that cake. So it could be artificial flowers, it could be edible flowers, it could be ribbons, whatever it's going to be, even the decor of that cake. Make sure that everything is in line with your theme. Yeah, a lot of people take it for granted, but you know, you want everything to be seamless and to flow well, and that's the reason why you try to get advice from your cake designer or your cake decorator. Still talking more about cakes and etiquette of cakes. I would always say, yes, you've chosen your design. Yes, you've chosen your budget. Yes, you've chosen your color scheme. It is very, very important to do what we've just done now. Taste that cake. Tasting. They will come up with all sorts. Oh, there's fruit, there's almond, there's whatever. There are all types of flavors. Chocolate, vanilla, red velvet. Why don't you taste? Everybody's cake is different. A's chocolate cake and B's chocolate cake may be poles apart. So you should always suggest that, you know what, I would like to do a cake tasting. So when you're doing some cakes for other people, can you just keep some aside so I can come in for a cake tasting? And that is your assurance that at least you know how the cake is going to be. Yeah. I have actually been to a party once before, and somebody baked a child's cake, and the middle of the cake was uncooked.
Oh dear.
What? And yes, it was beautifully iced and all of that. It was time for the cutting of the cake, and down the middle it was raw. So that gives you an idea of really if that person can make cakes or not, because everybody's doing what everybody's doing. You know, everybody's following fashion, as I call it. But it's very important. And when it comes to cake tasting, it's really about, one, the texture. Is the cake moist or is it firm? The second thing is about flavor. What flavor do you really want? So when you're doing a cake tasting, you can determine which flavors you really like. Back to what I mentioned before: vanilla, chocolate, almond, butterscotch.
Butterscotch.
Type of cake. Is it going to be a fruit cake, a carrot cake, a sponge cake? All right, so you need to determine what kind of cake do you really want. And when you do the cake tasting as well, you get a feel of what kind of cakes there are there. Decor. Is it going to have flowers, real ones, edible ones, or, you know, or artificial ones? And of course,
what kind of icing?
Do you want, yes, what kind of icing? Fondant or butter? Well, most
icing.
wedding cakes should be fondant, whether people like it or not, you know. And then is it going to be, in tasting, when you're tasting your cake, the tiers, you know, in arranging, do you want the top tier to be the fruit cake? Do you want the middle one to be a marble cake? Do you want the lower one to be, you know? And you have to remember, is there going to be a filling inside that cake as well? Is it going to be cream filling, jam filling, or no filling whatsoever? And that also determines how long that cake is going
Janet,
to last.
You're making my mouth to water.
What
you have to do in selecting a wedding cake.
Yeah, it's a big job. It's a big job. When you've done all of that,
it's the job for Mrs.
Yeah. So if brides as well may need help in that area, you know. So if you're helping your friend choose the wedding cake and all of that, don't go alone. I would suggest go with someone else, because two heads are always better than one. And ultimately, when you're making that final decision, at least be well informed that you've seen a lot and you've got a lot to choose from, and then you can now say, okay, this is what I really think I want. On the wedding day too, you've done all that beautiful decor, you've chosen the cake and all of that. Displaying the cake is really important. There's no point in having that beautiful cake and it's somewhere behind the stage where no one can see it. You really have to have the right spot, because it is the royal food of the day.
What if the plan is to bring it in style? So you hide it.
Don't even want to try that, because if the cake falls, I have seen a cake, because it was in the car waiting to be brought into the hall, right? This is even before the wedding started. The heat melted the sugar, you know, the sugar flowers on it. They melted, and it was a disaster, honestly, because it was still wrapped in cellophane, and they really forgot the heat in the car closed up, you know, and the flowers, just because it's sugar, isn't it? So the flowers themselves wilted. Now, the remedy there at that point in time was get the coolest room in the environment, just to get the sugar flowers to stand up a bit,
stiffen up,
you know, to stiffen up a bit. But everything started melting. So you really have to get your cake in there well before the time. You don't want to be doing it in the midst of people at all. And you want a nice central place. Now, you also need to make sure that your cake decorator, either she's responsible or he, as the case may be, is responsible for decorating the cake table. You don't want to kaplunk it on something that is not is not designed as well. So you definitely want to make sure that they have the tools to, or the table as well, to make sure that that beautiful cake that you spend so much money on is properly displayed. Either your cake decorator will do that, or the person doing the decor of the hall will do that. But make sure you ask, are you going to do the cake table as well? I really think that's very, very, very important when you're choosing your cake. My tip number 7 really is in cutting the cake. Now, how many times have we been to weddings when it's like, it's time to cut the cake? Okay, where's a knife? Where's a spatula? And before you know it, they quickly run and get any old thing, just because, oh, we forgot the cake knife, and then just plunk it in. No. That's one thing that actually is part of, it's like, say you want to eat food and there's no knife and fork.
Yeah.
Okay, I like the part. I know we don't do that much these at weddings. They say, where are the witnesses? We get one old man.
Yes.
Okay, but you know what? We'll take a moment, then we'll come back. We'll tidy up on the cake etiquette. Please don't go away.